see from Tony Robbins, or if you're familiar with the one from Wilson Education, which is driver, analytical, amiable, expressive, based on how they describe the home to you, you are very quickly going to be able to take a good guess at what kind of personality style they have. If they're very matter of fact and short, they're probably a driver. If they're very 2,650 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 full bath, 1 3/4, 3/4 acre lot, fenced yard, they're probably analytical. Okay. If they're like, well, it's just been a wonderful home, and it's got 4 bedrooms, it's been great for the kids, and they're probably amiable. People that they're warm, they're friendly, they want to feel safe, they don't like ruffling feathers, they don't like telling people no. If they're like, oh man, it's such a great house, we've loved living here, we've got 4 bedrooms, and they're the life of the party kind of people, very expressive. All right. This is valuable information to have because you need to know, if you think about it, you guys, the personality style that they have, each personality has its own language. If you think of it like a language, and you want to talk to people in their native language. So if Tamara comes across as more expressive, I'm going to be a little more expressive in talking to her, because she's going to receive that the best with the least amount of cognitive dissonance. Do you know what I mean? If Tamara is very analytical, then I'm going to approach her in a very analytical manner. And that means I am bringing a lot of data with me to my listing appointment, because analyticals need data to make decisions. If she's a short, like boom, boom driver, I'm going to be just like that with her. And if she's if she's amiable and slow to say no, she needs to feel safe, she needs to like me, she needs to not get pushed, right? Like hard closing, don't hard close and amiable, right? They won't respond well. This is valuable information for me to know when I'm going on my listing appointment on what is the best way they need to be spoken to. Okay. So that's the purpose of that question. So now here, I'm going to modify. This is an old script. I've never bothered to modify, you guys. So great, Tamara, thank you for giving me that extra info on your home. Now I'm going to be emailing you a package of information later this afternoon. This is so much valuable information for you, especially based on the fact that you said you really didn't know what your first agent was doing on the property. So I'm going to be sending over 3 very short, I promise you, short 60-second videos for you to watch. I'm going to tell you a little bit about us, who we are, what we do, but also about how to prepare your home successfully for a sale. I'm going to be sending over our highly detailed marketing plan for you to look over, along with a little more information about us. Would you please take a few minutes to review that before we get together on Saturday?
Absolutely. Could you also send that to my husband as well?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, what's the best email address for both you and your husband? And then we'll just
email.
Yeah. Perfect. And then Tamara, do me a favor, ask me what I charge. Do you have any questions for me before I see you on Saturday?
Yeah, how much do you charge?
Well, that is such a great question. With this move to DC, it sounds like it's really important that you get as much as you possibly can out of the sale of this home. Is that right?
Yes, we need every dollar.
Yeah, it sounded like it. So here's the great news, Tamara. Commissions are 100% negotiable. And that'll be one of the first things that we discuss when I see you on Saturday. Fair enough.
Oh, great. I'm glad that you can negotiate that. We couldn't negotiate it before.
Okay, awesome. So just so you know, our meeting, assuming that you review all the information that I'm going to send you, should only take 20 to 30 minutes, ballpark. Is that okay?
Yeah, that will work.
Okay, great. Well, I am really looking forward to meeting both you and your husband this Saturday.
Sounds great. Thanks, Belladonna.
Super. So guys, do you see how the pre-listing script You went from kind of vague to very exact. Now, there's no question. Did you notice she stopped protesting that this was a tentative appointment? They always do. And I have additional information that I needed. I know what the bottom dollar that she's not willing to go below is, at least now. I know how much they owe on the property, which is necessary because I need to know what their margins are, right? They've got plenty of equity. Just because she doesn't want to go below 540 doesn't mean she can't go below 540. That's valuable information for me, right? I know whether she's planning to interview more than one agent. I know whether she's planning to try and sell on her own. This is valuable information for me because depending on how they answer these questions, I can prepare in advance to handle those objections at the listing presentation instead of being surprised by those objections during a listing presentation, right? Now I can like prepare. I can have multiple ways to handle those objections lined up and ready to go before I ever show up. I've also made sure that she's going to review that information that I sent her before I get there. And I know that they have a commission objection because that last thing, any questions you have before I arrive are going to be objections that are on the top of their mind. So I know that that's going to come up and I'm prepared for it. So now that we've had a chance to go through a couple of those, and then really quick, I'm going to stop sharing, then I'm going to reshare again in just a second, guys, because I'd like to share with you the platform that I'm using. Oh, Martin's raising his hand, and it's his training.
Because I'm the host, there's no option in the menu to, like, you know how you can raise a hand, but because I'm the host, I can't raise my hand. So I was just going to say, when you were going through that script right at the beginning, you kind of glanced over it, but it was really important at the beginning. You said, if it makes sense. And what was the very first line? And you used, like, there's an NLP tactic there with comfortable and confident in the way you say those words. And I thought it might have been useful to maybe just go into that a little bit briefly. But yeah, it's your training. Don't let me tell you what to do.
Oh, no, that's a great one. Bloody hell. You think I could find my script? And so here it is. I'll just give it to you from memory. I was going to pull it up so you can see it. So, by the way, guys, this line used to make me want to throw up. I was so scared to say this line. I don't know why it scared me, but it scared the heck out of me, right? And so I went from not being completely unwilling to ask this question to now I can't wait to ask this question. Okay. Like I'm just like, I want to get it out there. So here it is. First question of the prequal script. If you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list your home with me when I see you Saturday at 1? That's a bold question, isn't it? But do you guys see how it's now the NLP is there's 2 embedded NLP suggestions in one sentence. It's a thing of beauty. Now, guys, I'm prefacing it. I'm saying, hey, if you feel comfortable and confident, and I'm like, there, you guys, I've done this. I've said this thing a million times. When I say comfortable, I'm going to say it friendly. I'm going to say it low. If you feel comfortable and confident, right? Little stress, confident that I can sell your home, right? That I can sell your home. Embedded command in the back of their head. She can sell my home. Are you planning to list your home with me when I see you Saturday at 1 o'clock? And I'm going to say it with a big smile on my face so that it comes through in my voice, right? List your home with me is an NLP embedded command when I see you. And you're going to get one of 3 answers, guys. You're going to get, yes, we will consider it. In which case you're like, holy crap, I don't care what happens. I'm going on this appointment, right? Like, whoa, you will get probably 80 to 90% of the time. You'll get maybe, we'll consider it. That's why we're having you out. I'm not sure. It depends on what you say. Perfect. That's all I need is a chance, right? I am totally fine with a maybe answer. But once in a while, I get a hard no. 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 Okay, great. So then I'm curious, Tamara, help me understand. What's your goal? What are you hoping to achieve out of when we get together on Saturday? Guys, a few things happen here, and it's happened to me. Or I will have somebody say, list, no, I wasn't planning to list my home. I thought you were just going to tell me why it didn't sell. I thought you were going to tell me what it was worth. I thought I was clear on the reason I was setting this appointment, but they were not. Now is the time to clarify that misunderstanding, because it's really embarrassing to clarify that misunderstanding in person. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
That's why I like to, that's one of the reasons it's important to ask this question. And then if it's a hard no, I want to know why. I want to know why, because I can set a lot of listing appointments, guys, and my time is valuable. And for a wicked hard no, I might decide not to go on the appointment. Or I'm going to ask some questions to discover why that is. And based on their answers, I'm going to decide if it's worth going on this appointment. Does that make sense to everybody? Right. And so,
But it's also your tonality in that question makes all the difference. In order to get the NLP command to come across correctly is all in the tonality and in the way you say each one of the questions that you're asking, and you're down, I mean, it's all in that tonality.
Yes. And then John had asked, what's an NLP command? NLP is short for a big, long, fancy phrase that's called neural, as in neural networks in our brain, linguistic, speech, programming, neural linguistic programming, called NLP for short. And it involves how the subconscious mind perceives and responds to what we'll call embedded commands. And they are just a little more advanced way of speaking. And it also conveys some very specific things to those clients on the other side. It conveys literally that we're professional, we're calm. We know that we can get this home sold. We're assuming that you're planning to list your home with me, right? Like, why wouldn't you? It's just the natural thing to do, isn't it? And guys, in person, when I give a NLP command, I will always nod my head yes and smile. You're planning to list your home with me, right? And sometimes I will even tap my chest, right? And then they're going, hey guys, have you ever tried to say no while you're nodding your head yes? Yes. When it messes up your brain. Like, this goes with yes, and this goes with no, right? It's hardwired in us in the US, at least. So that's what NLP is. So, and then I want to make sure we've got a couple of minutes here. Guys, would you like to see, so there's calling expireds, and then there's how